Let's go. Let's grow. Let's get it.
𝐕𝐈𝐃𝐄𝐒 here with another 10-minute Tuesday here where we're giving you a video about 10 minutes or less every week. When you're chiming in, you're going to find something that's going to make you better. One of my mentors tell me, I'm not just trying to make you better, we're going to make you better. One of my uncles also said this: I'm not going to give you some medicine that I'm not taking myself. That means the information that I'm given, 9.5 or 9.9 times out of 10, I've used this stuff on myself, so I know it works. Not only have I just used it on myself, I've seen other people use it on themselves. So when you tune in here every week again, we're gonna give you something that's gonna help you become better. Our goal is to push you. Our goal is to help you produce more. Right? If you're doing good, we want you to be great. If you're doing great, we want you to be awesome. If you're doing awesome, we want you to be even better than that. There's always another level, especially if you're a leader. All right, we're going to jump into this lesson, but if you're a leader, one time God showed me this vision, and it was a real simple vision, but it was profound at the same time. He showed me, because I get the opportunity to lead companies, I get the opportunity to lead, I do theater, I get the opportunity to lead with training, and he showed me myself standing at the top of a stairway. And when I was standing at the top of the stairway, there were people behind me on every stair beneath me. I was at the top of the stairs. So I'm at the top stair, and there were more stairs above me, but there was full behind. No one was in front of me, but there was full behind me. People on every step. And God said this to me: they can't take another step up unless you take another step up. Unless you create room for them to grow, unless you challenge and pull them up, unless you create room, a gap, enough space for them to come up a little bit higher, than most people, they're not gonna go even higher. Let me give this too. Another person said this to me as well. I get the opportunity to sing, and somebody was sitting with me, and it was like, you do praise and worship, and I was singing. They said, man, you just go all in. I said, yep, I go from 1 to 5. And if you drive a stick shift, that's a horrible thing, but I go from 1 to 5. That means I go from one gear straight to the next gear, and I just push myself to keep going. As a leader, watch this. As a leader, the people that you lead will never be on the level that you're on. I'm gonna say that another time. As a leader, and you're leading, whether you may think, oh, I'm not leading an organization, I'm not leading a team, I'm not in the front of the room, you're leading somebody somewhere. They're looking to you for leadership. And then while you're leading, while you're going, while you're pushing, you got to take another step up, because the people who you're leading are never going to be on the same level as you. Watch this. If you want the people that you're leading to give 80%, you can't give 80%. You got to give 100%. So if you give 100% and the people that you're leading are giving 80%, that means they're pushing. And don't ask yourself this question as a leader. Don't ask yourself, why aren't they doing as much as I'm doing? Because you're a leader. Leaders go where there is no path, and they leave a trail. When you're a leader, you're the person that's supposed, if somebody's following you and they're saying this is kind of easy, don't get mad at them. It's supposed to be easier for them. If you're a father and your children, your family, your wife is having an easier time than you, they're supposed to, because you're leading, you're creating a path. Again, when leaders are on a certain level, the people that are following you usually aren't going to be on that level. Just like on the stairs in that vision that I had, you got to take a step up. You got to take 2 steps up. You got to take 3 steps up for the people beneath you to have room to take another step up. If you want your people to be on 100, you got to be on 120. You got to give more. If you want them to give more, you have to give more and give them room to give more. So again, we want you to be better. You're going to become better the more you time into this. Let's do a little bit more with excellence. In success, in leadership as well, but I want to talk about excellence. And when I'm talking about excellence, that does apply to you as being a leader, or it does apply to you in whatever you're doing yourself. You may not be leading somebody. You may feel like you don't have anybody leading you, although I'm telling you, somebody's watching you, but you can still move in excellence. Here it is. Character is what you do when nobody's watching you. Right? Character is what you do when nobody's watching you. Here's another one. Character is what people say about you when you leave the room. So here's a conundrum. How do I know what people say about me when I leave the room? Easy. You're in the room operating on a certain level in a certain character. So when you leave the room, you have other people speaking up for you when you're not even there. I'm going to say this. I'm going to go there. I'm a trainer. I'm a personal trainer. So I do some personal trainer working out. And so I'm training at the gym, and actually now I'm not at the gym. I leave my car at the gym, and there's training going on at the gym, and I leave my car there, and me and the other partner, we're going to check some other business out. And so I leave my car there. This story is going on. I'm not there. Character is what people say about you when you're not in the room. This is also dealing with excellence. So I come back and I hear this conversation going on in the gym. Somebody saw my car there. And one of the people in the gym said, watch, I ain't never heard this. Maybe y'all know what I'm talking about, but I ain't never heard this type of conversation. They said, they said jokingly, maybe Carlos left his car here and maybe he out with some other woman or something and he lying saying that he at the gym, so he left his car here. I'm like, I ain't know that's what they do. And it's another person speaks up and said, nah, not Carlos. Nah, he ain't like that. Nah, if his car is here, then he's out doing something else and he'll be here in a minute. And I came back within an hour or so and they told me their story. Watch this. Character is what people say about you when you're not in the room. I'm not even in the room. I'm not even having a clue this conversation is going on, but somebody else is speaking up on my behalf because of the way I carried myself while I was in the room. When you carry yourself a certain way while you're in the room, when you leave the room, your essence will speak for you and other people will speak for you. Excellence. Here it is. Here's the example. Those who strive for excellence also clean the passenger side of the window. Let me say that one more time. Those who strive for excellence also clean the passenger side of the window. What do I mean by that? If you're in your car and you cleaning out the inside of your car and your car is clean and you're cleaning your windshield because you're the driver, people who strive for excellence, they want to make sure that the passenger side of the window is clean as well, not just the window that they're looking out of. Take that same example and put that example into your life. When you're a leader or when you're moving in excellence, you want other people to have a clear vision just like you want you to have a clear vision. Because when you have a clear vision, even when other people can't see where you're going, they're going to follow you because your vision is clear. When you're moving in excellence, you're also cleaning the passenger side of the window. That also means you're providing a vision for somebody else to be able to see the vision. When you provide a vision for somebody else, most times when you're given the vision, watch this, nobody can see it yet. But when you provide the vision clear and you clean the passenger side of the window, or you clean off and give this vision so clear that the people who are in the car with you, they don't know where you're going, but they trust where you're going because the vision has been given to them clear. Now, there are going to be some other people who are not going to see the vision before that. My grandfather was a pastor. Right, and in his days of pastoring, he was talking about the pulpit, and he was going to expand it and make it bigger. Right, he was talking about it for weeks. One of his old members came up to him and said, "I can't see it." He kept talking about it for more weeks. A couple months went by, and he actually expanded it. He actually did it. He actually got it expanded. He actually got it built. The same member came up to him and said, "I see it now." He said, "Anybody can see it now. It's built." So you are going to have some people in your life who can't see it and won't allow themselves to see it until they actually physically see it. But you will have other people in your life that you can paint the vision so vividly to them that they'll be able to see the vision before you actually get to it. Steve Jobs, Apple. I want you to think about this, whether you're an Apple person or you're an Android person. If you're an Android person, stretch your hand to the camera right now. I'm going to pray for you. And we're going to pray for healing over your life so you can get that. I ain't going to say demon. I ain't going to call your phone demon. We're going to get you on an iPhone. But let's get out of there. Steve Jobs, right? He was a visionary. I want you to think about this. Steve Jobs I have an iPhone. I got a Mac. I got a MacBook. Steve Jobs never put any of these things together. He never engineered. He never put any of the physical pieces together. I want you to think about that. Steve Wozniak was one of the engineers that helped to put together the pieces that Steve Jobs came up with. But Steve Jobs, again, he didn't put any of these pieces together, but watch the vision. 5 years before the iPad came out, he could tell you everything that the iPad could do. Although it wasn't out yet, and the engineers weren't even there to build it yet. Some things and ideas that he came up with seemed to be impossible. Watch this. But he painted the vision so clear that what seemed to be impossible became possible by an engineer doing something that he thought he could never do. Watch this. Managers try to get people to do things that they don't want to do. Visionaries or leaders can get people to do things that they never believed that they could do. I'm going to say that one more time. Managers, they try to get people to do things that they don't necessarily want to do. Leaders or visionaries, they can get people to do things that they never believed that they can do. Henry Ford was another one. He came up with the block engine. Again, he didn't engineer to put it together. It was said that he was talking to his engineers and told them he wanted a block engine, and they were like, "We can't do it. It's impossible. We can't do it. It's impossible." He said, I want it done. He came back to them weeks later. They said, "We can't do it." He said, I want it done. They came back to him months later. They said, we can't do it. It's impossible. He said, I want it done. He came back to him. They said, even more months later, they finally said, we got it done, the block engine. Watch this. They thought it was impossible at the beginning, but a visionary kept putting the vision to them and kept leading them, just like the stairwell example, so that they could push themselves to do something that they never even believed that they could do. And they would have never done it had they not had a visionary give them the vision. Watch this. Write the vision and make it plain so somebody who sees it, they can take that vision and run with it. So when you give a vision and you make that vision plain, you'll give that vision to other people on your team, watch this, who can do some things with the vision that you can't even do yourself. I'll say this. Steve Jobs came up with ideas that he could not carry out. Steve Wozniak carried out ideas that he couldn't even come up with. So a visionary is important, but the person who's carrying out of the vision themselves, they're important just the same. This visionary needs somebody alongside of him to help him carry out the vision to do some things that he can't even do himself. The person who's carrying out the vision may not be able to come up with the vision, but they need somebody to come up with the vision so they can carry out the vision themselves. Whether you're on either side of that spectrum, you need to get along with somebody who's giving you the vision, casting the vision so you can carry it out. You need to cast the vision so somebody else can carry it out. And on whatever side you're doing that on, I challenge you to do that with an excellence. That person who's moving in excellence also cleans the passenger side of the window. That means they don't do things just for themselves to benefit. They do things for other people to benefit. Martin Luther King said this, if the world would end tomorrow, I'll still plant my apple tree today. That means he was saying as a leader, if I don't benefit from the things that I'm doing today, at least somebody else is going to benefit from those things. And since somebody else is going to benefit from those things tomorrow, I'm going to do these things today and move in excellence. My name is Carlos V. Spencer Speaks. We're here 10-minute Tuesday, 10-minute video or less. We're going to help you continue to get better. Let's go. Let's grow. Let's get it.
Let's go, let's grow, let's grow, let's get it, let's get it.